Hello everyone and welcome to review number 2 on the channel. This time we are reviewing Monday Night Raw. And that's going to be Monday Night Raw. I'll put the date on the screen because I don't know the date. Either way. So this is my first time watching an episode of Monday Night Raw since maybe 2011. 2012, maybe? 2012 is a tough one. I'm not even sure 2012 is accurate. 2011 would be the safest bet. I think I might have watched some SmackDown in 2012, but no Raw. So, the Raw opens up, and I'll tell you right now, I remember Byron Saxton, I remember Corey Graves. I don't know who the guy in the middle was of the commentary team, so bald guy kind of looks like Hank from Breaking Bad. And he was okay too. He wasn't bad, so that's always good. So the show opened up with a recap, and so I have an opinion about the recap, right? So the recap was about Matt Riddle, who I'm not very familiar with, and Randy Orton. I guess they have a tag team called RK Bro, which is funny, I guess, sort of funny. And man, I was surprised at the length of this recap. It was really long. I don't know exactly how much they recap. I thought it was just from the last show, as in like the last Monday. I would not be surprised if it was longer than that because it was long. I don't know how long it was, but basically they're a cool tag team and Randy went missing. And now Riddle has a rivalry with AJ Styles and Omos, or Omos, depending on who's saying it. It's one of the two. Spelled Omos. Omos, yeah. So, Randy Orton's making his big return, which is cool. Randy Orton, I'm very familiar with Randy Orton, so it was nice seeing him. Weird seeing him have such a thick mustache, though. So, I mean, it's still cool. Still Randy Orton, just a very thick mustache, Randy Orton. It's fine. And basically he comes back and he says, oh, hey, I RKO'd Matt Riddle. A lot of you are asking me why. I don't need to tell you why. And it kind of reminded me of the Batista promo. After he turned on Rey Mysterio, he came out and he was like, you want to know why? And he just like took off his sunglasses. And then he walked away. Like he didn't say anything. This was kind of like that, except instead of Randy Orton walking away, he was interrupted by Matt Riddle, who very awkwardly, and this is so weird. So it might just be me. It might just be, my perspective. But I feel like Matt Riddle's line delivery is like a 9-year-old. Like he's like, oh, please team with me. And it just comes off as really weird because he's like a grown man. He's probably in his 30s. And he seems like very like, I don't know how to say it. Odd. Either way, he's all like, oh, you RKO'd me to teach me how to do it because I was doing it wrong. What's the logic? Of a 9-year-old. That's what I'm saying. I don't think any adult human would be like, oh, you punched me in the face to show me good punching form. Makes sense. Anyway, AJ Styles and Omos come out, and boy, there's a running theme on this show, and it is Omos is tall. He's just really tall. That's the theme. That's the whole thing. They never like miss an opportunity to tell you how tall this guy is. And I think they did say he was like 7'4", which, don't get me wrong, is super tall. But man, is it just hammered in there? Just, he's tall. He's tall, but okay. Anyway, so Omos is gonna fight Randy Orton tonight. That was announced at the beginning of the show. Cool. But then AJ Styles is like, oh, hey, Riddle, why don't you fight me? And then Riddle's like, oh, yeah, because with Randy in my corner, I'm unbeatable. And I'm like, that's some fucking childish shit. But it's okay. Maybe I'm missing some context. Is Riddle supposed to be stupid? I don't know. It seems like it would be a controversial character in today's day and age, but you know, whatever. But Randy decides not to be in Riddle's corner, and he kind of just like very slowly walks away. And the camera work here is just very awkward. So he's walking away. It shows Matt Riddle and AJ Styles wrestling for a moment, and then it cuts back to Randy. He's kind of like looking back, and then he keeps walking. And then Matt Riddle and AJ are wrestling, and then like in the back, in the background, you can see Randy still walking up the ramp. And then it'll cut back to Randy. He's like, oh, let me look back again. And then he eventually leaves. And, boy, I don't know Matt Riddle. Like I said, I'm not familiar with him, so I don't know anything he does. He likes kicking people, I guess, which is cool. He also wrestles barefoot, which is interesting. But he goes to the top rope to presumably do something. And he sees Omos, and Omos sees him. And Matt Riddle, he doesn't jump. I don't know why. I was trying to work it out in my head. The commentary team said, oh, the mere presence of Omos stopped Matt Riddle. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense at all. I don't I don't see how just someone being there is a distraction, because Omos didn't do anything. He was just literally just standing there, like just motionless, and he still somehow caused a distraction. Either way, the match was okay. The match was actually, well, no, I wouldn't say good. It was okay. AJ Styles did this beautiful transition into the calf crusher. I thought that was it. I thought that was the end of the match, like completely. It wasn't, but it was definitely super cool. And then he also pulled Riddle down from the top rope into the Styles Clash. Very cool. Oh boy, but there was one part. So basically, and I don't know if this is a regular thing. I guess I'll find out. But the commercial breaks were so awkwardly put into the show. So basically how it goes, right, as I mentioned before, AJ Styles comes out and goes, oh, you want to fight me, Riddle? And Riddle's like, yeah, I'll fight you. And then the announcers are like, oh, Matt Riddle versus AJ Styles coming up next. And then, like, there's just, like, this dead, like, good 30 seconds of AJ Styles being like, oh, I'm gonna fight you. You're gonna fight me. I'm gonna fight you. And then Matt Riddle's like, I'm gonna fight you. Are you gonna fight me? We're gonna fight. And just nothing. And then the commercial hit. And I was like, who mistimed that? Because that looked fucking awkward. It was like weird to watch. It was almost like, kind of like, it's almost like seeing like a microphone or a reflection of a camera in a movie. It's like that wasn't supposed to happen. Doesn't necessarily ruin anything, but definitely not supposed to happen. Alright, so next thing we have up is the Nikki ASH promo. So this is oh man, she was a lot on the show, so I got to hear her name a lot. Can we just talk about how awkward the name is? So what the commentary team says is almost a superhero Nikki ASH. And what does ASH stand for? Is what I first thought, right? But I think ASH is supposed to stand for almost a superhero, but it doesn't, because that's not how you spell. It should be ASH. Should be Nikki AASH. Almost a superhero. Then again, isn't superhero one word? No, I think it's not. Crap. I look dumb. Either way, that's an awkward name. And it's weird. So she cut a promo about, oh boy, the accent is heavy. That's a heavy accent. I have nothing wrong with that, but it's weird. Weird political message sent here too. Is she said she's a hero for her people, which would mean presumably that she's a Scottish superhero or a hero for Scottish people, which is cool. It's just know. The WWE was supposed to be more global. To each his own. So basically, she's the champion, though. I should point that out. That's a very big deal. So she's a Raw Women's Champion. She does this whole thing where she's like, "Oh, I'm almost a superhero," and it's a little off-putting because the mask on her face looks pretty stupid. It really does. Not only that, but I don't know what's the point of being almost a superhero. Like if I slapped a spider off my shirt, I was almost Spider-Man, maybe. I don't know. That doesn't give me anything special, though. You know, like I'm not any better than the other guy who did get bit and also didn't turn to Spider-Man. Conceptually, the gimmick is like all right. I don't know. I don't get it really. But then, okay, so then she's in a match, right, against Rhea Ripley. I've heard of Rhea Ripley. I've never seen her actually wrestle. She looks really cool. She's a big girl. She's strong looking. Her music's like whatever though, but I like her presentation. Also, real quick, I have to shout it out because I didn't mention it in the opening segment. But what the flip are these weird, augmented reality images that show up on the screen during entrances now? It's really lame. Like when Randy Orton came out, like a little snaky snake came down and was like, what the fuck was that? It was just, I don't know. It wasn't badass or cool. Any words that would be considered positive. It was just, oh boy, I almost want to say it was kind of cute. I don't know. It just kind of takes you out of it. The reason I mentioned that is because in Rhea Ripley's entrance, there's some chains and they're swinging. I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe she has a chain gimmick. Either way, then we had Charlotte Flair come out on commentary, which Charlotte was the best part of this match. I'm not gonna lie. Rhea Ripley versus Nikki ASH went 2 minutes. Geez, it seemed like it went 2 minutes. I only remember Charlotte being on commentary because it was kind of funny. Where apparently Charlotte lost to Nikki ASH recently, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, she didn't beat me. I beat myself. I put myself through a table." It was kind of funny. She was kind of being like a smarmy, "Oh, I didn't lose. She didn't beat me. I beat myself." But it was, I don't know that she did, but I mean, it's funny anyway. I can't imagine Nikki ASH beating fucking anybody though, because she got manhandled here. Absolutely destroyed. Like I said, the match was 2 minutes. Rhea Ripley hit her with a pump handle slam, and that was it. Just 1, 2, 3 in the ring. I don't understand the point of pinning your champion. It doesn't make sense because the champion's supposed to be the best one of the division, right? It's supposed to be the best one, top of the hill. So if Rhea Ripley can beat Nikki, why isn't Rhea Ripley champion? Questions. Either way, I forget who it was, but somebody went and attacked Charlotte. They threw Charlotte in the ring. Nikki ASH, might have been her actually. She just jumps right up and starts beating the crap out of Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley's just having a ball laughing her ass off. And that's all cool and all, yeah, I'll beat up the heel, right? But Nikki ASH just lost a match. Feasibly. The entire concept of losing a wrestling match is that you could not respond to a 3 count. Which would presume that you are at least dazed, stunned even, or, at the very least, kind of knocked out. Why the hell didn't she kick out if she's got all this energy to get up and beat the shit out of the girl on commentary? It doesn't make any sense. Either way, though, that was a thing. Like I said, I don't really understand them pinning the champion. Good for Rhea Ripley, kind of. I'll get back to that later because there's a follow-up here. But that was the end of that weird segment. Awkward as crap name. I don't even like saying it in this review, to be honest. I feel like it takes up too much air. Say Nikki ASH. So, weird, and kind of a weird use of a champion as well. Alright, next we got Jinder Mahal. He's talking to his muscle. That's a tough one after tonight. I don't know if you can call him muscle anymore. Veer and Shanky are their names. I had a hard time distinguishing them at first because everyone refers to them as Veer and Shanky. No one refers to them as one or the other. So I was like, I don't know which one's Veer or which one's Shanky. It wasn't until the match they had in a moment that I found out. But basically, and I will do my best to explain this because I don't really understand. Drew McIntyre has a sword, like a literal sword, like a sword, and he threatens Jinder Mahal with the sword, so that's why Jinder Mahal can't beat up Drew McIntyre because he's scared of being stabbed with a sword. So they're gonna have a handicap match, Drew versus Veer and Shanky, and if Veer and Shanky win, Drew does not get to have a sword. If Drew wins, Veer and Shanky cannot be present at Drew and Jinder's match at SummerSlam. Okay. Sure, right? Okay. So Drew McIntyre comes out, and this I feel like they want this to be cool. It wasn't. It was not. There's like a cube in the middle of the ramp, and it looks like a Minecraft rock. Like it's just got like the worst texture possible. Like a cobblestone block that was definitely made of some soft material. And Drew has a sword, and he sticks the sword into the rock pillow. I don't know. It didn't make that much sense. I don't know if that's his gimmick, like a King Arthur gimmick. Why he put the sword back in the stone? That doesn't even make sense if it was a damn King Arthur gimmick. Okay, well, whatever. He goes to the ring. Opportunity number one, someone had to take the sword because he left it in the damn rock pillow. Veer and Shanky come down. They have weird generic music. Or no, actually I think it was Jinder Mahal's music, which isn't bad. And then we cut to commercial break. When we return, you would think we would be going right into the Veer and Shanky versus Drew match. But actually, it's a backstage promo with MVP. And I actually rewinded my TV because I was like, what did I miss? Nothing. They just put the promo in the middle of so it's like entrance, commercial, promo, match. Does not make sense whatsoever. I don't like it. Either way, MVP's talking about, the almighty Bobby Lashley is the champion. His nickname's the Almighty. I got that from I think 1 to 2 million times they said it this show. And he's gonna talk to Goldberg. Woo, Goldberg, guy from the 80s. Woo. All right. So now we're back to the match, right? Here we go. So Veer and Shanky are fighting Drew McIntyre. That's a very loose statement. The word fighting. Veer and Shanky are in the ring with Drew McIntyre, and they fall over a lot, and then he beats them. So that was a match. That was horrible. Absolute garbage. I I probably could have had that match, realistically. I just need to learn to fall better. The hardest part would be staying down for the 3 count. Because I'd get bored laying on the mat the whole time. Either way, then Drew gets the microphone. I believe he beat Shanky, by the way. That matters. He's talking to Jinder. Jinder's on the ramp. This was rough for Jinder. I feel like, oof, give that man a raise. Drew McIntyre starts cutting a promo, talking like, oh, Shanky's talking to me. Let me listen to what he's saying. And he's saying, I wish I could be as cool and sexy as Drew McIntyre. Why the fuck doesn't Jinder Mahal have a microphone? It wasn't a promo battle. It was like me yelling at someone who, like, couldn't talk back for, like, 4 minutes. It was just weird. Because Jinder's, like, trying to talk, right? He's, like, yelling. He's probably saying words. I can't confirm or deny that. He could be doing the watermelon theater trick for all I know. But Drew is just, like, just ranting about my sword and, you know, you gotta be alone next SummerSlam, and I don't know. Why did you have to have a match for this? Realistically, right? Like, you could have just, like, killed him with a sword or pretended to kill. You could have stabbed your Rock again. I feel like it would have done the trick. Jinder Mahal would have been like, he stabbed the Rock twice. That's once for each of you. You guys can't be there at SummerSlam. That would have made just about as much sense as this. Because why can he bring a sword? Why is anyone allowed to have a sword? I don't understand that. Why can't Jinder just bring also a sword? Have a sword fight. Anyway, the match was just complete garbage. The angle, like the whole like rivalry. I don't know. You know what? I'm being too harsh because this is my first week watching. Maybe this feud makes sense. Maybe like there's a whole history between Jinder and the sword, Drew and the sword. Maybe Veer and Shanky lost. They had to change their names and like you get a shitty name if you lose match. You know, who knows? I don't know. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because I feel like I don't know. It just a lot of things aren't making sense, but I should come to expect that because this is my first time watching. So it's okay. The match wasn't very good though. I'll stick by that. But it was. I guess it was a thing that happened. So next up, boy, we have the debut of Moist TV, which. Probably the worst segment name of all time, let's be honest. So I guess it's John Morrison, or I believe he's going by Johnny Drip Drip now. The names are getting pretty bad at this company, I'm not gonna lie. Either way. And he's interviewing The Miz. Yeah, okay, that's sure. The Miz is looking kind of thin nowadays, by the way. I don't know. I mean, it's good, but, you know, whatever. So he's interviewing him about like, apparently the Miz was in a wheelchair. We got a little recap of it. He's in a wheelchair. I don't know, his leg was hurt. And then a guy named Damian Priest was going to smack him in the wheelchair, but he stood up and everyone was like, oh crap, I thought you were like, I don't know, supposed to be in the wheelchair, including John Morrison. So he asked the Miz in the interview, you know, were you pretending to be injured? And I swear, there's like this little guitar riff, and then the camera cuts to the ramp, and here's this dude already standing with a spotlight on him. Where the fuck did he come from? I have no idea where he came from. I don't even know who this person is. So he comes down, and he's like, oh, you know, Miz, you suck, ass, you fake being injured. And the Miz is like, oh, maybe I did because I have kids. And John Morrison was like, oh, so you did. And Miz is like, oh, maybe a little. So John Morrison's like, oh, we're going to have a match on my show called Moist TV. You're going to fight Damian Priest right now. Miz is super opposed to it, but no one gives a shit. Also, I should mention there was a kiddie pool full of rubber duckies. Why? Something to do with moist. Water's moist. It's not wet, the internet says, but I guess it's moist. Miz gets pushed in the kiddie pool of ducks because ha ha ha, and also funny, I guess. Okay. Sure, right? And I was gonna say too, something I noticed about the Miz here. Miz has always been like a jerk, like his character's always been a heel. But boy, was he like channeling Jim Carrey in this segment. Like he was really, the way he was acting, the cadence in which he spoke was very like Ace Ventura-y. It was weird. I mean, not a bad performance if we're looking at it like solo. But the segment was just weird. Anyway, so Damian Priest versus The Miz, right? It's cool. But then here comes Sheamus. Oh, Sheamus. Like, okay, two things about Sheamus. One, can't understand what the fuck this man's saying. And that hurts me because he looks so cool now. He's wearing like a big brown coat and he's got suspenders and he's got like a beard that goes around and he's got a hat. It's like a bowler hat. He looks super cool. And he's got like a weird face mask too. I don't know what's going on. Apparently his face is broken, but you know, that's all good. Kind of copying Cody Rhodes from back in the day, but it's all good. But boy, he got on commentary and I just... One of the other commentators agreed with me too. Either way, apparently Damian Priest and Sheamus will be facing each other at SummerSlam for the U.S. title, which they have a new U.S. title belt. It no longer has a flag on it. Whatever, sure, right? It just looks like a belt now. Kind of looks generic. Not a huge fan, actually. So Damian Priest, he hits Miz with a brogue kick, which is Sheamus' finisher. Pins the Miz. The match went for, I don't know, maybe like another like 4 minutes. It was poo-poo. Like, there was nothing good about it. The Miz is so much better than this. I've seen him have like actual good matches. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe they ran out of time, but they definitely did not. Either way, Sheamus got up and he was all mad because Damian Priest used his finisher. And I noticed Sheamus says gold with a T. So he says gold. I don't know if that's just to piss people off. Didn't piss me off. But I noticed it. And I feel like if I hear it enough times, it might actually piss me off. Because I don't know how many times I can hear someone say gold. And he really put the T in there, you know? I don't know. And I was thinking too, Sheamus kind of looks like a character from Gangs of New York, if you want a comparison. I might put a picture up on here somewhere. But yeah, he looks pretty cool. I like his new gimmick. Because I don't know what his first gimmick was. He was like, oh, he's a Celtic warrior, but I don't know what the fuck that means. The guy came out in like little Speedo underwear stuff and had big old hair. Then he had a mohawk at some point, which is cool. I love mohawks. Didn't make sense. I guess it's just a guy who wanted a mohawk, huh? Not everything has to be a gimmick. Okay, fair enough. But now, love his attire. Wish I kind of knew where it came from. Next thing we had was an Eva Marie promo, which she has pink hair now, so someone else dyed their hair. Last time I saw her, she had red hair. She was all red. Everything was like her gimmick. Now she has pink hair. Looks like bubblegum. So it's nice. It's aesthetically pleasing. She hangs out with a girl named Dewdrop, which might, I mean, Dewdrop as a name, as a person's name, is sad. I would quit. I would quit my my career. Not just the job, not just WWE. I would stop wrestling. If my eventual road, you know, yellow brick road, you go down the line, you end up somewhere, right? For Dorothy, it was Oz. If for me, it was Dewdrop. Nope. I'm checking out, bro. Dewdrop. What is that? What is it? It's not a name. That's not a normal person's name. It's not a gimmick. She is not a drop of dew. It's just a name. It's just words. It's like if I name myself Lamppost. Why? I'm not a lamppost. I don't look like a lamppost, but What's the logic behind this? And you know what, too? I've seen her before. I saw the Women's Classic tournament on WWE Network like a long time ago. And her name was Piper. Piper Nivens. That's also a weird name, but Piper's a good name. You could have just left Piper's a name. Piper's an actual fucking name. It's also an occupation. But it's a name. It's a real name. What the fuck is Doudrop? She a rapper? Maybe if she starts spitting some bars, I'll understand. She has a jacket on, and that is it. I don't... It's just word. It's not a name. I would like to say it's just a name, but it's not. Either way, I'm gonna bundle these two segments because there's two of them and they appeared like throughout the show, but like it's fine because they suck anyway. Eva Marie tells Doudrop to go get a doll by the name of Lily, and then immediately after she tells her that, Doudrop walks away. We see Alexa Bliss talking to the doll, saying, "Oh, would you look at that? She's coming to get you." And me, I'm like, hey, are you watching Raw? Because that's how I'm watching that. How did you see what I just saw? Weird. Doesn't make that much sense. And then even more so is weird that when Doudrop shows up, Alexa Bliss is like, oh, I knew you'd come. I could tell the future. And I'm like, I thought you saw the clip that we just saw. But what? Okay. Then she takes Lily. And then Alexa Bliss is like, I wouldn't do that if I was you. And then Doudrop looks into Lily's face, and then she gives her back. I don't know what that means. I don't know what this character is, Alexa Bliss. She looks like a scene girl. To each his own, you know, you can be a scene girl if you want to be a scene girl, but the doll's stupid. I don't know. I wish I had more to say about this, but I don't. I just don't understand what they're going for here. Is the doll supposed to be possessed? Is it like a cursed doll? Is, you know, Alexa Bliss listening to too much freaking Panic at the Disco? You know, like Green Day is kind of older now. I don't know what she's listening to. Black Veil Bride. I don't get it. I don't understand. What is the Playhouse? There's a Playhouse. I just saw a swing. First of all, that's not in the house. You can't have a swing in a house. And if you do, it's not going to be made of wood. Thirdly, I forgot number 2. Secondly, what is it? Is it a place? Is it a segment? Like Moist TV is a segment? What is it? I don't know. Either way, Doudrop goes back to Eva Marie. She does not, in fact, have Lily because it scared her or something. And Eva Marie was like, man, it's like a slap to the face when you don't do what I say. So she slaps her in the face. But Eva Marie forgot how to slap people. So it looked like she got like bonked her, like a V8 bonk in the side of her head. And like Doudrop kind of looked at her like, hey, you should probably slap me again, but like not like a stupid ass. And then so Eva Marie slaps her again. And I was like, oh, look, a slap. I don't know what that first one was, but that's a slap. Okay. Yeah, so that happened. Doesn't make sense. But sure. Whatever that is. That was like a total of 5 minutes. So, yay. And then we got Mansoor versus Mace. These names. Mansoor's a fine name. Mace, like a mace, like the big ball with spikes on it, or like the pepper spray, or I don't know. But his partner's name is T-Bar, which I don't know. Maybe mechanics. Maybe a mechanic gimmick. Or like the insecure mechanic that has to carry around a weapon collectively. Anyway, there was like a clip. This one didn't make sense either. A lot of this, you know, this show isn't really bad. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. So Ali, Mustafa Ali, who was also in the Cruiserweight Classic. I said Cruiserweight Battle Royal the first time. That was stupid. He was pretty cool. So Ali tells Mansoor, hey, last week I didn't need your help, but I had it. And then it cuts to a clip of him losing. And I'm like, looks like you needed help, sir, but whatever. And so Ali said, oh, this week I'm going to have your back. And I'm like, well, you lost last week. I'm not sure how much that help's going to help. Well, let's see. So Mansoor comes out, super cool ring gear. Love his ring gear. Love the colors, the bright, shiny material. Super cool. This match, I was going to say shortest, but I don't know. It's getting pretty close there. Couple minutes at most. Ended really quickly where Mace gets Mansoor and he's got them all pinned up. And, oh, bro, he's right by the ropes, right? Ali grabs the ropes and he, like, lifts his entire body up and, like, double kicks Mace in the face. Epic. That was great. I loved it. It was just fun to watch. I wanted to watch it again and again, but there was more show. But if the whole show was that kick to the face, it should be a great show. I'd watch it. I have to watch it again, but I would want to watch it again. I would be like, oh, well, am I going to watch the kick to the face show? Amazing. But instead, there was other stuff that wasn't Ali's kick to the face, and that makes me sad. Either way, that kick to the face was so epic that it actually knocked out Mace, and Mansoor got the win. That's interesting. I don't know if it's some type of finisher, maybe I don't know about, or if it's caught Mace by surprise. I guess I would be caught by surprise as well if that was a thing that happened to me, if I got kicked in the face. So, sure. But yeah, so, I mean, that whole segment, the whole match, the whole promo and then the match, including the entrances, probably 5 minutes. But that kick to the face was really like the piece de la resistance of that, of the whole show, to be honest. Like, probably my favorite moment on the show was Ali kicking that guy in the face. So, not a high bar, but, you know, it was still good. It was still a great kick to the face. So next we had the match we got advertised to us at the beginning of the show. We had Randy Orton versus Omos. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but he's tall. He's very tall. I want to make sure everyone knows that, because it was driven into my skull the entire night. He is tall though, okay? He's very tall, sure. Okay, so Randy Orton comes out, little sneaky snake comes out, and okay, good stuff. So intimidating. If I was almost shaking in my boots. Match starts. Oh boy, does freaking almost just destroys him really. Like Orton's like can't do anything. Almost throws him to the outside to mention how tall he is. The ref's like, no, stop, and then the ref's like, stop, you're so tall, because you know you got to mention how tall he is. And then it cuts to commercial break. It has a commercial about how to be as tall as Omos, but there's no commercial. It's just him, and then voices saying he's tall, he's tall, he's tall. Weird commercial, but you know, whatever. I'm joking. That commercial didn't exist, but that commercial was basically this goddamn show because they kept fucking saying how tall he is. So he throws Randy to the outside. And then the ref's like, oh, stay in here. And then AJ Styles, he kicks Randy. And the ref was like, bro, I'm looking at you. Why would you do that? I just saw what you did. So he DQs Omos, and Omos loses. And Randy wins. Yay, Randy beat Omos. Debut match back. Woo. Yay. And then so, alright, Randy Orton's going to get beat up by those two guys. Here comes Matt Riddle, and he comes down. He saves Randy, kind of, more or less. And then Randy gets the mic and he's like, hey, you know, I don't like you, Riddle. You talk like a fucking 9-year-old. but I respect you because I ditched you earlier and you came back to help me. So we're gonna be Team RK Bro again. And Riddle pees himself because he's so happy. And then he tells AJ and Omos, who, I don't know if I mentioned this. They're the tag team champions, AJ and Omos. So Riddle says, okay, we're gonna fight you guys for the title at the pay-per-view. And they kept mentioning this, so I have to mention it. Pay-per-view is 5 days away, which is SummerSlam. They just made this match right now, which means they made a match 5 days before the damn pay-per-view. Okay, weird. Like, okay, like what were AJ and Omos gonna do if RK Bro didn't get back together? Like nothing. Oh boy, and then we had Jeff Hardy promo. Oh, Jeff Hardy. I really used to like him. Saw him win the world title. His whole feud with Triple H, Edge. What is it called? CM Punk. Really good. I really like Jeff Hardy. Oh boy, not so much right here though. He is not doing well. The years have not treated him well. His face paint is still epic though. He's gonna fight some guy named Karrion Kross, who I found out is the NXT champion. Interesting. I don't know if they've called up an NXT champion since Kevin Owens. But you know, that's cool. Kevin Owens is cool too. I don't know if he's on Raw. But so they have a fight, Karrion Kross and Jeff Hardy. I don't know who's got like the stopwatch in the back where they're like, start the match, end the match. Because that's what it was. He jumped in there, Jeff Hardy slipped on a banana peel, and then Karrion Kross got a weird chokehold on him. And it's like, here's the weird part about Karrion Kross's chokehold, right? So he does this, and you know, Jeff Hardy's in here, right? He's choking out. But then like Karrion like puts his hand on his face, like he's like resting. Like it looks like he could just like fall right asleep. Like with the guy right here, but he's like, you know? I don't know. Something about that's so weird to me. Like, why you like caressing your chin, like your cheek, right? Like, I don't know. That's fine. Every time he did it, I just kept seeing the hand. I was like, it must be comfortable. For Karrion Kross, not for Jeff Hardy, obviously. So that match ended pretty dang quick. I don't even know if we got like 3 minutes of match there. But that seems to be a running theme on this show as well. Is just quick ass matches. Just get in the ring and like just fall over. And that's it. So then we had this weird ass promo. I don't even know if it's a promo or a segment. It was a guy named Reggie. He's a 24/7 champion, which I don't know what that is. I'm assuming like everyday champion? I don't know what that means. And he's in a park and he has this whole like, I'm not gonna go through it because it's really stupid. But there was a line in there I thought was funny. And he was like, I used to come to the park just to see how many flips I could do. And I'm like, bro, why do you need to be at the park to do flips? Also, who does that? Who does that with anything? Like, hey, I'm gonna go to the park. I want to see how many flips I can do. Why? Why are you doing this? Anyway, he does a weird flip. There's R-Truth and another guy is chasing him. And he does like some parkour over the car. And he gets in and he drives away. And that was whatever that was, so sure. And then we get to see the stupid augmented reality graphics back because Rhea Ripley comes out again. Ooh, and she's got the dumb chains. And she's like, ooh, it's real. Trust us. It's definitely not fake. Or, you know, I don't know if they think it's... I mean, they're not expecting us to think it's real. It's stupid. Like, it doesn't look good. Like, it doesn't make me think like, oh man, Rhea Ripley's so cool. She's got, you know, PlayStation 2 graphic chains in her entrance. It's just, yeah, it's lame. She comes out, here comes Nikki, almost a superhero. Again. And then Charlotte comes out and she's gonna wrestle, but she needs a tag team partner, so Nia Jax comes out. Nia Jax got a big afro now, which is cool. I don't know. I dig it. She used to have like real straight hair back in NXT, so that's cool that she's doing that. She has a little cape thing going on. This match was also garbage, so I don't know how much I'm going to talk about it. It was like they punched a couple of punches. Nia Jax, she shook her butt a lot. That was something I wrote down. She has a lot of butt-based offense now. I don't know. That was definitely not a thing back in NXT. But she got, I think it was Rhea Ripley in the corner and just stuck her butt in her face and just kind of wiggled it around. It's aggressive wiggling. I was just like, I mean, effective? Maybe. Corey Graves on commentary loved it, and the way he said it. It was just dead silence as Nia Jax rubs her ass in this girl's face. And Corey Graves is like, I'm liking that. Corey Graves. But I mean, yeah, it's unpleasant, I bet, right? But I mean, it's what I don't know. It's Rikishi used to do it, so cool. And then she gets up on the top rope and she's shaking her butt some more, and then she's slapping her butt, and then Charlotte slaps her butt. And at first I was just like, oh. But then it was actually a tag. She was tagging herself in, and she was just slapping her butt for the irony, which is, you know, it's cool, whatever. And then she comes in and she hits one move on Rhea Ripley and pins her, and that was the match. Okay. What? So, I don't know. I wrote this down because I honestly don't know. Why is everyone so frail? Like, they get a butt in the face, and then one move, and they're just done. Mace got kicked in the face one time. He was done. Miz got kicked in the face like one time. He was done. And it's like, what happened? You know? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's like an algorithm thing, right? Like maybe WWE did a study and they were like, oh, matches that go over 4 minutes, they don't draw attention or something. Because all these matches were so short. And then, like, on top of that, why the fuck were we even watching these people when they just had a match at the beginning of the show? It's like so weird. The second match somehow linked into the final match of the show. It didn't make sense that we saw these people more than once. Like, I don't know, is that weird? Like, I feel like you should only see a like, it's almost like double booking. They wrestled 2 matches. At least Rhea Ripley and Nikki did. I don't know. Maybe that's a new thing. It's a new age Raw thing. But that did not happen very often when I watched TV. Or wrestling on TV. Either way, after that was our big blow-off promo from Goldberg, and he came out and he looks kind of thinner, and you know, he looks like Goldberg, and he yells when he does the promo because the 80s, and he's like, last week MVP got my son involved, so this week I'm gonna get my son involved. And I'm just like, that sounds so counterproductive to what you're complaining about. Okay, if you had a problem with MVP talking to your son, it makes sense. Maybe he's a dangerous guy, right? He's a bad guy. So why would you bring your son again? What the fuck logic is this? And so here comes Bobby Lashley and MVP, and then Bobby Lashley's like, I'm the Almighty, and the Almighty says what the Almighty says sometimes when it's Almighty o'clock. And when it's Almighty o'clock, I become the Almighty, which I was before that. And I'm just like, stop. Why are you saying the damn name so much? Like, I would have preferred it if he mentioned how fucking tall Omos was. It was so repetitive. Like, it was like a fucking Future song. Or no, 2 Chainz song. That's what it was. It was just the same thing. And then Goldberg just says, bullshit. And then everyone's like, oh my god, he said a curse word. Oh. And then, apparently, Goldberg gave Bobby Lashley a spear. But what it looked like to me was the men were too close to each other, and there was only like 3 feet of distance. So when Goldberg turned to run at him, Bobby Lashley was like already there. So he just had to like lower himself and put the shoulder in. And it was just the weakest spear I've ever seen. And I just saw Christian spear Kenny Omega on Rampage. And that was the end of the show. That was the whole like imagine like you're like, oh man, SummerSlam's in a couple days and I get to see Goldberg talk to Bobby Lashley, and then he just comes out and he's nonsensical, and it's like, why are you doing this? You make no fucking sense. And that was it. That was Raw. I have a lot of opinions here. So, oh boy. I won't talk about all of them, because this is probably running long. But I like the Mansoor Ali thing, solely for the kick. I don't have much to go off of, so the kick is gonna do me in. Oh boy, I don't care how tall Omos is. I maybe I should. I don't. He's tall, okay. Alright. No. But I like Randy Orton, so I'll probably give that feud like another shot. Like I'll go for it. The Nikki ASH thing is she lost twice technically in one night, and she's the champion. So I'm assuming she's losing that belt like immediately, like at the pay-per-view at SummerSlam. I guess Charlotte would get it because she's the only one who hasn't eaten a pin. God, what else is there? Alexa Bliss, she's fine. She's probably doing TikToks or something. I don't know. She's a scene girl. Doudrop needs to go to court and get that name changed immediately. Eva Marie's hair is nice. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. I was going to give a number rating for this show. And I will. Let's say out of 10, right? I'd give this a 5. Because, like, a lot of this stuff wasn't horrendous. It's just, like, I don't understand it. And I'm giving it a 5 because, like, maybe I could understand it. Or, a big pay-per-view, maybe we get new feuds, and, I'm right there. Like, I'm right here at the beginning of the new feud. So that's going to be good, hopefully. Unfortunately, though, as this entire point of this channel is for me to try to get back into wrestling as a lapsed fan, I have to tell you, after Monday Night Raw, I am further from being a fan than I was when I started. So until next time, where I will be reviewing AEW Dynamite on Wednesday, yeah.